Hello guys, so today I'm talking about the new heat treating furnace slash forge that I'm building. I've been building it for a while. I'm just actually making some headway on it, but I've got pretty much all the materials that I need for it, and this is a significant portion of it. Go away. This is a bunch of ceramic blanket that is going to form the majority of the insulation in it. Then I've got a box of fire bricks that I'm going to use as the flooring material, and some coating material to help protect the insulated blanket. And then I'll show you guys what I've actually gotten done on the forged body. And yes, it is a fucking mess in here. Obviously. Here we have the floor and one wall. I got a bit too excited and welded this all up really fast, and got all of it a bit too hot and just warped the crap out of this side. So as you can see, it's got a good bit of waver in that thing, but I'm going to make it as straight as I can and just make it work. And I've got these torch flares welded in here on this side, and I've gotten the other 4 torch flares prepared to weld into the other side. I've gotten the holes drilled. I just need to widen them up a little bit so that the torch tubes can fit through the holes and thread in. And then I'll plug my stuff in there, and propane will blast in. And these torches are going to be offset from each other, so there's a torch here and a torch here, and on the other side there's going to be a torch right here. So there are going to be torches every 6 inches in length, and they're going to be up at the top of the furnace. So this is going to be the floor, there's going to be a layer of ceramic blanket here, 2 layers on each side, 2 layers on the top, and then a layer of brick along the bottom to finish the insulation on the bottom. The entire thing is 54 inches long, and on the outside dimensions it's 13 inches wide by 10 inches tall. I've got the top. That's not gonna help you guys. I got the top right there. Didn't go quite as fast, so I didn't warp the crap out of this one. But everything's going to be totally welded up whenever I get the insulation in, which will be once I get the second wall on this side, and then, well, after I've welded these torch flares into there, then I'll weld it onto here, and then I'll put the insulation in, get it all coated, then weld the top on and make the front and the back, which are going to have hinges, little hinged doors on them, so I'll be able to access it pretty easily. As I said, the outside dimensions are 13 by 10 inches wide and tall, and then there's going to be 2 inches of insulation top, bottom, and sides, which will reduce the interior dimensions to 9 by 6 total, which is still a ton of space inside. I mean, if you see this box, if you can just imagine that, there's going to be a ton of space in there. So I'm going to be able to fit a huge number of different kinds of projects in here. And with the way I'm going to be setting up my torches, I'm going to be running them off of 2 tanks of propane, 1 on each side, and each tank is obviously going to power 4 burners. It's not necessarily going to get very hot, terrifically hot, certainly not around, probably not past about 2,000 degrees whenever it's got all 8 burners going, but I don't need it to get that hot. The only reason I would ever need the forge to get that hot would be if I was making Damascus steel, in which case I would not be heating up the entire forge for that. I'm going to be able to shut off half of the burners at a time and just light up like half of the forge, and then probably install a temporary little block or wall back here out of fire break or insulation, some kind of insulation, and just use half the forge at a time if I feel like it. Half or a quarter or however much I need. And that way I can get a much hotter heat using a lot more gas, because instead of 4 torches on each tank, it'll only be powering 2, which will be able to get much, much hotter, much more quickly. And it's generally just a considerable improvement over the smaller box that I've got down here with 2 burners for a 36-inch forge. This one's going to have 8 burners for a 54-inch forge. It's considerably larger, but it also has vastly more heat potential. So I'm looking forward to getting this done, and I think it's going to be pretty badass. It's going to be heavy as all get out, but I made it out of thinner material this time for that very reason. This is 16 gauge steel, where I used 1/8 inch for the other forge, and that one's pretty dang heavy. This one's going to be even heavier, but not nearly as heavy as it would be if I used 1/8 inch for the whole thing. That would be just ridiculously heavy. But anyway, I'm going to sign off for now and get myself back to work. You guys have a great day.